It began with a letter. In 1933, a farmer's wife wrote to Ford Australia asking for a vehicle to go to church in on Sunday and carry pigs to market on Monday. What followed wasn't just an answer to that request, it was the birth of an Australian icon. The 1934 Ford Coupe utility was rugged, adaptable, and distinctly Aussie. Unlike American pickups, it wasn't a two-piece body with a bolt-on tray. It was a sedan with a tub seamlessly integrated behind the cabin. This wasn't just form, it was pure function. The Ute, short for utility, was born to serve the land. Farmers, tradies, and labourers took it on as their steed, and before long, every manufacturer, Holden, Ford, Chrysler, offered one. By the 1960s, Utes had become part of the national identity. Whether it was a Holden Kingswood with a ladder rack or a Falcon XY with bench seats and vinyl floors, it was designed for utility, not ego. By the 1970s and 80s, Australia's obsession with cars spilled over into its workhorses. No longer just a tool, the Ute became a canvas for performance and pride. Enter the Holden Sandman and Ford Sundowner, panel vans and Utes marketed directly to the surf and shag crowd. Suddenly the Ute wasn't just carrying hay bales, it was carrying stereos, spoilers and stubbies. Ute culture exploded. Rural Australia adored the simplicity, while urban youth saw them as rebellious. Performance variants like the Falcon GT Ute and Commodore SS Ute brought V8 grunt into a traditionally humble segment. Some even had beer cooling compartments in the tub. It was Aussie ingenuity or madness. Either way, we embraced it. But even then, the Ute retained its practicality. Vinyl floors, hose-down trays, a bench seat that could carry your mate, and a meat pie. Even the V8 versions were working-class muscle, something that could still tow a horse float or haul bricks on site. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, however, the Ute's DNA began to change. Commodore and Falcon Utes became lower, sleeker, more like two-door sports cars with trays. Dual cab 4x4s from Toyota, Nissan, and Mitsubishi crept in from Japan. At first, they were rugged but clunky. The Hilux was for mining companies and farmers. The Navara was a bit agricultural. But as safety standards changed and buyers wanted more comfort, these Japanese dual cabs started offering luxuries once reserved for passenger cars: aircon, leather, cruise control. Then came diesel engines, torquey, efficient, and easy to live with. Tradies loved them. Fleet managers loved them even more. By the 2010s, something wild happened. The dual cab Ute became a family car. Tradies would use it through the week and load up the kids on the weekend. The Commodore Ute became irrelevant, and in 2017, both Ford and Holden killed off their homegrown Utes altogether. The American pickup truck, once too large, too thirsty, and too niche, found a new home in Australia. With Holden and Ford no longer offering locally built Utes, Ram, Chevrolet, and Ford USA started importing and remanufacturing their pickups for right-hand drive. At first it was novelty, then it became aspirational. You didn't buy a Ram 1500 because you needed it. You bought it because you wanted to be seen in it. It had presence, a hulking front grille, a twin cab the size of your driveway. Sure, it could tow 4.5 tons, but most never towed anything heavier than a jet ski. Meanwhile, Toyota Hilux and Ford Ranger fought it out for market supremacy. The Hilux had built decades of reputation. It was the indestructible cockroach of the automotive world. In fact, Toyota's hold on the segment was so strong that the rest of the world barely noticed it, largely because the US blocked Japanese trucks above a certain size under the chicken tax, preventing full-scale Japanese competition in the American pickup market. Australia didn't have those limits, and we embraced Toyota with open arms. The Hilux and Prado ruled the Outback, but while America had V8s and chrome, we had turbo diesel 4s, snorkels, and bull bars. Today, we're in the age of the lifestyle truck. The average dual cab 4x4 in Australia is no longer built just for work. It's a status symbol. You'll find a Ford Ranger Raptor parked outside cafes more than on cattle stations. It has flared guards, sports shocks, off-road modes, and a bi-turbo diesel, but most won't ever see a dirt road. In fact, some of them barely see the job site. What used to be bench seats are now leather recliners. Instead of load capacity, we talk about touchscreen size and towing figures we'll never test. Trays are now showpieces with powder-coated alloy toolboxes and light bars that could land a plane. Even wheel arches are more about flex than function. Meanwhile, single-cab utes and cab chassis trays, the backbone of trades and agriculture, have slowly disappeared from mainstream marketing. They still exist, but they're increasingly treated like afterthoughts, buried beneath the gloss of Wildtrak stickers and 20-inch wheels. And then came China. Brands like GWM, Great Wall Motors, and LDV started pushing into the market with prices that made jaws drop. At first, tradies laughed. Build quality was hit and miss, performance was average, and parts availability questionable. But they were cheap. Over time, though, the Chinese got smart. Fast. LDV's T60 and GWM's Cannon began offering features that undercut Japanese and American trucks by tens of thousands. 360-degree cameras, massive infotainment screens, leather seats, and 7-year warranties. They were no longer a joke. They were a very real threat. Fleet buyers, courier companies, and even private owners took note. For the price of a mid-range Hilux, you could buy a top-spec Chinese dual cab with all the gear, and often better tech. Sure, resale wasn't great yet, but the disruption had begun. In chasing size, power, and road presence, we've lost something. The humble, no-nonsense, dead reliable Aussie Ute is gone. The locally made, body-integrated, sedan-based Ute, built to serve the bloke who worked with his hands, is extinct. It's been replaced with American trucks too big for city streets and dual-cab lifestyle machines that struggle to carry a full ton. We've forgotten that utility was the point, that the Ute wasn't about Bluetooth or automatic tailgates or adaptive cruise control. It was about being able to haul a cement mixer, a Kelpie, and a carton of VB at the same time. What's replaced, it might be safer, faster, and comfier, but it's also more disconnected, more image-driven. We've traded hose-down simplicity for touchscreen complexity, and when you ask the average truck owner how much their tray actually carries, the answer is usually, not much, but it looks sick, hey? When Holden and Ford shut down local plants, they left a void no one could fully replace. Ford pivoted to importing ranges from Thailand. Holden was absorbed by GM, offered a rebadged Colorado, and disappeared altogether. The Japanese, Toyota, Isuzu, Nissan, capitalized. But we missed out on Japan's full potential. Thanks to US tariffs, many Japanese trucks, like Toyota's Tacoma and Tundra, were never built in RHD, meaning we never saw them here. The American trucks, meanwhile, are now being imported and remanufactured at great cost, creating aspirational vehicles, but not practical ones. And China? They're stepping in where others hesitated. Affordable, adaptable, and improving fast, Australia became a proving ground, a test lab for 4x4 utes. But it also became fragmented, caught between what we once built and what the world now sells us. So, what is the future of the Aussie Ute? Electric utes like the LLAO VET60 have already hit the market. Quiet, torquey, and expensive. The Rivian R1T and Tesla Cybertruck loom on the horizon, though neither are confirmed for Australia. Will we see a return to practicality? Or is the Ute forever a truck now? More about lifestyle than labour. In a market that once prized simplicity and work ethic, we now prize status and tech. But the echoes of the past remain. The farmer's wife who asked for pigs and pews? She'd probably be shocked to see her request answered with a $140,000 Ram TRX. As we conclude our exploration of the Australian Ute's evolution, it's evident that the market has diversified to cater to a range of needs, from traditional workhorses to lifestyle-oriented pickups. For potential buyers, understanding these categories can aid in making an informed decision. First, traditional workhorse utes, Toyota Hilux. Workmate, renowned for its reliability and durability, the Hilux remains a favourite among tradespeople and farmers. Isuzu D-Max SX offers a robust build with a focus on practicality, making it suitable for heavy-duty tasks. Ford Ranger XL Cab Chassis combines functionality with modern features, catering to those who need a dependable work vehicle. Second, lifestyle-oriented dual-cab utes. Ford Ranger Raptor, designed for off-road enthusiasts, it boasts enhanced suspension and performance features. Toyota Hilux Rogue blends ruggedness with comfort, appealing to those seeking versatility. Mitsubishi Triton GSR offers a balance between utility and style, suitable for both work and leisure. 3. Emerging competitors. Kia Tasman. Kia's entry into the ute market, the Tasman, aims to challenge established players with its modern design and features. GWM Cannon. A budget-friendly option that doesn't compromise on features, making it an attractive choice for value-conscious buyers. 4th, American full-size pickups, Ford F-150. Known for its towing capacity and spaciousness, it's ideal for those requiring heavy-duty performance. Ram 1500 combines luxury with power, catering to buyers looking for a premium pickup experience. The Australian ute landscape has transformed significantly, offering a spectrum of vehicles tailored to diverse needs. Whether you're seeking a dependable work companion or a versatile vehicle for both work and play, there's a ute designed to meet your requirements. Assessing your primary needs, be it payload capacity, off-road capability, comfort, or budget, will guide you to the right choice in this dynamic market. Again, we conclude this look at the landscape of motor here in Australia. Like and subscribe so we can better bring what you want to see.